All right, so just to finalize the syllabus for the rest of the semester, we are on week 11, and we're going to do family systems tonight. If you're in clinical mental health counseling, you're going to have an entire course on family systems. But the reason I teach it in here, it gives you kind of an introduction, but also school counselors have to take this course, but they don't have to take the family counseling course. So I just want to make sure everybody has at least a small amount of the family counseling background. So we'll do that. This is week 11, family counseling. Like I said, it's taken me a little while to catch up on grading the past couple of weeks. We're in the middle of our CACREP response, and but we should be done with that by next week. So I'll get caught up. Week 12, so that's next week, we're going to do postmodern approaches, which is, I'm just going to do solution-focused therapy. But we're also going to be handing out the exam next week, and it's the same as the last exam. We're going to have REBT on it, feminist therapy, and family systems therapy. Those will be your 3 theories. And we'll talk about that in detail when I hand out the exam next week. We'll go over each theory, let you ask me questions about each theory. But it's the same exact case, same exact format, same exact questions. Everything's the same. It's just different theories. So we'll hand that out next week, and we'll go over solution focused. And then it'll be due, you'll have 1 week to do that. It'll be due week 13, week after next, anytime before class starts, because we'll talk about it in class. And that is the week before Thanksgiving break. Then you'll have Thanksgiving break. That week when your exam is due, I'm also going to go over your paper that week and what to write, how to organize it. And then when you get back from Thanksgiving, we'll have your final paper due before class. And in the syllabus, it says final paper presentations. And whoever's in person and whoever's online on Zoom live with us, it's informal. It's not a real presentation. We're just going to take turns, and you can kind of share what theory you chose, why does that fit you, why does that fit the population you want to work with, and anything you want to share about your characteristics, but very informal, just sharing a little bit about your thoughts with the class. So like, 3 or 4 minutes, whatever you want to share. Try to complete any discussion boards that aren't done by that last week. If you missed one or didn't get one done, finish it up so I can give you a grade for it. So we're going to try to get all the work done by the end of the semester before finals week. I should be able to hand back your tests that last week of class when your final papers due. So we'll go over the exam results. And we should not have class finals week. All your exams should be completed. Your paper should be completed. So you should be good to go. So the only thing I should have left to grade is the final paper during finals week. Try not to ask for an extension. You already know pretty much what's due for the rest of the semester. You can start on it now if you want. You'll also have Thanksgiving break to complete the paper. All right. Paige.
Can you go over the final paper? Like, can we talk about it now, or do you want to wait a little bit to talk about it? But can we go over what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, we can go over it now if you want to get started on it. That's fine. So basically, it's hard to get this final paper wrong because it's really about you. So the main thing, the instructions are in the syllabus, and if you just follow them exactly, you should be able to do well on the paper. So I even gave you an outline for the paper in the syllabus, but try APA style. You don't have to get it perfect, but if you don't even put an APA title page on, you didn't try. So, at least get the guidelines for the APA style. You're going to have to write every paper for this whole degree in APA style. I shouldn't have to write this down, but font, use Times New Roman, pitch 12. I shouldn't have to correct your grammar or punctuation or spelling. Proofread your papers. So I did lower the amount of pages for this. So it's 4 to 5 content pages, not 3 3/4, 4 to 5 content pages, and 7 to 8 pages total in length. So you're going to have the title page, and then you're going to have 4 to 5 content pages, and you're going to have the reference page, and probably one additional page for the abstract. So title page, abstract, content pages, references. So 3 of those pages are just title page, abstract, and references. So 7 pages total minimum. It can be much longer if you want it to be. No more than 1-inch margins, no more than double space, 2.5 spaces. And then, so it says in the syllabus that paper should include a minimum of 4 references from our library. Here's what most people ask me questions about, because it says 2 from the primary theorist and 2 from secondary sources like journals. So primary theorist is one of the theorists we went over, like something written by Carl Rogers or something written by Fritz Perls. So they're the primary theorist. So you should have 2 things written by them. It could be a book, it could be a journal article, and then 2 from secondary sources. Those sources are professional journal articles not written by the primary theorist. So maybe somebody did a study on CBT, something like that. That's okay. Those are your 2 secondary resources. Don't use the internet. Just use the library. Libraries online, they can get you any book or journal article you want. Most of them can be downloaded immediately. But if it's from our library, you don't have to worry about whether it's a good source or not. It is. In order to use a reference, it needs to either be quoted or referenced, cited in the paper. So let's get to what's going to be included in the paper. I really want this to be your own words, so I don't want a paragraph cut and pasted from one of your references. This is a short paper. You can write about it in 2 or 3 sentences of your own and cite that paraphrase. You can even have a 1-sentence long quote, but I don't want long quotes. I'd rather hear what you have to think about it and say about it. So You're going to have your title page, you're going to have your abstract, and then you're going to have 3 parts to the paper. And I even wrote down how long each section should be. So part 1, in most of Corey's textbooks, it's chapter 2, but it might be chapter 1 or chapter 3. In one of the first 3 chapters, he has a section on personal characteristics of effective counselors. And so talk about each one of those characteristics that he lists and apply them to yourself. Do you possess that characteristic? Are you already good at that characteristic? Give me some examples. Don't just say, I'm good at the following 3 characteristics. Give me some examples of how you incorporate those characteristics in your life. There's probably 3 or 4 characteristics that you're not really good at right now, but you'd like to improve. Tell me how you plan on improving. Are you going to read books on it? If so, what books? Are you going to take a course? Are you going to go to counseling? What are you going to do to improve those characteristics in your life? That should only be 1 page. You could write this whole paper about yourself, but we just want 1 page about you. Part 2, this is the most important part of the paper. Choose 1 and only 1 theory to use as your personal theoretical foundation in counseling. It should be one of the theories that I lectured on, one of the theories in your notes. Those are the primary core theories. There's lots of other theories. There's 1,000 other theories. Pick one of the ones in your notes or one of the ones that I lectured on. Once again, you're not teaching or writing about the theory itself. That's kind of what you do in undergrad. If you choose like Adlerian therapy or theory, this is not a paper on the theory. We already know the theory. You took a test on the theory. I taught you the theory. We don't need a paper on the theory. You've got my notes. So this is a paper describing why you chose this personal theory personally, yourself. How does the theory fit you as an individual? How does it fit your personality? How does it fit your philosophy as a counselor or a therapist? What are some of the positive features of the theory, but also what needs improvement? You're not going to agree with every aspect of the theory that you choose. So what needs improvement? Criticize it. But if you criticize it, tell me how you're going to fix it. How would you improve the theory specifically? What population would you use this theory with in the field? And this is where you're going to use your citations and your references, and it should be 2 to 3 pages long. And part 3, what's your personal reaction to the course? Just in case I don't use evaluations, I want to hear from you. I listen to you and try to improve the course each time I teach it. Did you find this assignment helpful? It is a CACREP standard, so we always incorporate this. You're going to be asked again when you do practicum or clinical field to do the same assignment again, and we'll see if there's any changes or growth, or you can see if you've changed your mind about the theory. What do you perceive as your future role to be in counseling? And that should just be 1 page. So should be about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages minimum content. And then you're going to have a summary and conclusion and references. So that's the paper. And you can write that anytime you want. All right, questions about the paper or the rest of the semester? All right, we are winding down, believe it or not.